This implies that Netero being less than half his prime power is referring to Netero having less than half the total aura that Netero had in his prime. Hey, what's up everybody? It's LeeLos, and today we're talking about why Meruem versus Prime Netero is obvious. Stay steady in pursuit of your dreams and goals. You're born to win, you're made for greatness, and I definitely believe in you guys. Keep up the great work each and every day. So Meruem versus Prime Netero is a battle between the pinnacle of the Chimera ant species versus the leader of the Hunter organization back when he was the #1 strongest Nen user on Earth. Today we're going to analyze all of Netero's abilities to see if Prime Netero would be strong enough to kill Meruem. Netero, at the start of the Chimera ant arc, states that he is currently less than half of his prime strength. He then goes on to say that he's more or less relative to Morel and Nove now, and that he's currently weaker than Pito as well. Netero is stated to be genuinely insane numerous times throughout the series, so Netero underestimating himself and hyping up Nove and Morel is a real possibility. However, Colt also tells Netero a similar statement, saying that after seeing Netero's power in base form, he still thought that Netero was weaker than the Royal Guards. The databooks and an information page about Nen proficiency provided by Togashi explain the power scale between Netero and the Royal Guard in much more detail. The databooks say that Netero is a tier above Pito in intelligence and spirit, 2 tiers above Yuppie in talent, and 2 tiers above Poof in spirit. And Togashi's Nen proficiency info page states that Netero is an entire tier above Pito and Poof in overall Nen proficiency, and he's 3 full tiers above Morel in Nen proficiency. Putting all of this into perspective, Netero's claim of being weaker than Pito most likely refers to Netero having less total aura than Pito, but Netero is overall a more skilled and complete Nen user than Pito, and is likely to defeat any of the Royal Guard individually in a drawn-out battle. Netero's claim of being relative to Morel and Nove is heavily implied to just be referring to Netero's total aura amount, because Netero completely outclasses them both considerably in Nen skill and Nen proficiency. A middle ground interpretation of Netero's power is that his aura capacity is 2 to 8 times larger than Morel's. Meanwhile, Yuppie's aura, even before evolving, was 10 times greater than Morel's. This is backed up by the fact that Netero did little to no damage to Pito with his Buddha Hand Hatsu, and Knuckle himself states that Nen attacks that are weaker than the opponent's Nen defense do 0 damage. Togashi's Nen proficiency page states that Netero has reached the pinnacle of attainable technique with his Enhancer Hatsu, and it's still at the ultimate level of proficiency even as an old man. This implies that Netero being less than half his prime power is referring to Netero having less than half the total aura that Netero had in his prime. Netero then goes on to train in preparation for Meruem, regaining some of his prime power. But let's lowball Netero and say that when he fought Meruem, he was still at just 50% of his prime power. So how powerful would Prime Netero be? Prime Netero would have twice the total aura and twice the Nen output, meaning he can fight for twice as long, and all of his attacks are twice as powerful and twice as fast. Against Old Man Netero, it took Meruem 18 minutes and thousands of attacks before he learned Netero's attack patterns and ripped his leg off. Meruem was holding back during this fight because he had to avoid fatal openings towards Netero as he was trying to defeat Netero without killing him, implying he could have not only killed Netero with the attack that ripped his leg off if he chose to, but he could have done it faster than 18 minutes as well. If Meruem fought Prime Netero without holding back and allowed himself to kill Netero, at most it would have taken twice as long, and Meruem would have killed Netero in 36 minutes rather than ripping his leg off in 18. Seeing how the anime states that the only move faster than Meruem was the prayer motion, and Meruem felt no threat from the Buddha hands while genuinely hoping that Netero would not die, while Meruem was actively trying not to kill him, and equated the entire fight to playing Gungi without 2 of his strongest pieces, it's very possible that Meruem would kill Prime Netero in even less than 36 minutes. Old Man Netero's power was stated to feel like a a baby throwing a tantrum to Meruem. Even if you multiply that by 2 and you have a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum at Meruem, it's not going to do any serious damage to him. Even if Prime Netero hits Meruem with Zero Hand, twice as powerful as the Old Man Netero Zero Hand, after the 36-minute onslaught, it would still not be enough to kill Meruem. One Zero Hand did significantly more damage than thousands of prior Buddha Hand strikes, and the Zero Hand only did surface level scratches to Meruem. Some fans believe Meruem didn't even use advanced Nen defense Ken to protect himself. Some fans believe Meruem just tanked Zero Hand or just used basic 10 defense, which is far weaker than Ken. Many fans believe Meruem was so powerful he could have taken anywhere in the range of 5 to 10 Zero Hands without dying. So doubling the power of one Zero Hand really is not a big deal to Meruem. Even if Old Man Netero hit Meruem with a second Zero Hand, Meruem would have gotten up and still been able to continue fighting. All this being said, although Prime Netero would give Meruem a better fight, he would still be killed by Meruem in less than an hour of fighting, and the main reason being that Netero simply doesn't have enough aura or overall attack power to deal fatal damage to Meruem. That's everything I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see ya on the next one.